They called us pre-mythological, a species still burning fossil fuels, arguing over borders, launching metal tubes into space. They watched us like we watch ants. But their gravest miscalculation wasn't underestimating our technology, it was underestimating our paranoia. 72 hours after their first strike order, 147 alien warships vanished from existence. Not destroyed, not disabled, erased. Welcome to the story of how Earth became the galaxy's most unpredictable superpower. The obsidian sanctum hung in the void between the Carina and Cygnus arms, a cathedral of darkness illuminated only by the bioluminescent secretions of its walls. 14 species representatives sat suspended in anti-gravity fields around a levitating table of solidified neutron star material. This was the Shadow Conclave, the covert power behind all galactic governance. Council Omega Zorak's chromatophores pulsed an involuntary pattern of distress, unprecedented in his 4-century reign. His tri-faceted eyes reflected emergency glyphs scrolling across the table's surface. Esteemed colleagues, his voice resonated with subsonic harmonics that trembled the very foundations of the sanctum. I have summoned you not to debate trade tariffs or territorial disputes, but to address an existential threat to the conclave itself. Ambassador Krillix of the Neural Collective convulsed, his cephalopodon tentacles knotting into stress patterns. My entire first reconnaissance armada gone. 3 full fleets, 89 vessels, 2,400 crew members. They entered the Kepler 44-2 sector to monitor a pre-warp civilization. Now they're just coordinates without content. Commander Taurus of the Iron Star Alliance barked a laugh that rattled his alloyed exoskeleton. Scout fleets vanish weekly. Space is hazardous. You're wasting our... Invisible, Krillix interrupted, his chromatophores flashing betrayal purple. Not just stealthed, phase shifted into dimensional pockets. The humans shouldn't have even detected cosmic background radiation from our engines. The silence tasted of ozone. Research Director Xylo of the Living Concordance finally spoke, his voice like rustling vegetation. We dispatched 15 bioships, organically grown vessels with self-concealing neural networks. Only one returned. Its pilot is altered, seared. Altered how? Zorak demanded. The pilot repeats one phrase in 47 languages we never taught it. They were seated at the table before we knocked. A 3-dimensional hologram materialized above the neutron table. Earth, a blue-green marble orbiting Sol. Then came the transmission, broadcast across every frequency the Conclave used, in every script they'd ever developed, across all 14 member species' communication protocols. We know you're watching. We're ready to negotiate. Negotiate? Admiral Nova of the Void Legion shot to her feet, her shadow skin rippling with agitation. These creatures haven't achieved quantum entanglement communication. How? They learned. Krillix's voice dropped to a whisper that somehow carried more weight than a shout. From our crews, from our ships, they've been studying us. The sanctum's temperature seemed to plummet. The unthinkable had occurred. A Tier 7 civilization had intercepted, analyzed, and reverse-engineered technology from Tier 2 species. Zorak gestured. The hologram shifted, revealing a structure orbiting Earth, an installation that hadn't existed 6 weeks ago. Long-range sensors detected this 73 hours ago. A space station, but its design signature. The hologram zoomed. The representatives gasped collectively, their various respiratory mechanisms hissing, clicking, and wheezing. Those are our gravitic drive manifolds, Thalos of the Vidian Ascendancy whispered. And those weapon implantments, Iron Star military specifications, Taurus confirmed, his bravado evaporating. That hull plating, Nala of the Void Legion added, uses our shadow phase composite. The humans didn't just capture our technology, they Frankensteined it. Zorak's chromatophores settled into a grim pattern. 7 civilizations, 147 vessels, 4,000 souls. But here's what truly terrifies me. They did this in 6 weeks.
6 weeks! Taurus's alloyed fists dented the neutron table. Construction of a station that size should require 14 months minimum. They didn't build it, they grew it. Using hybridized bioconstruction and nanoforging. It's alive, but mechanical, conscious, but programmable. Krillix activated another holographic layer. 2 days ago, this arrived, their ambassador's credentials. The projection showed a human female in a simple uniform, standing before a banner of Earth's united government. But it was the data streaming beneath her image that caused pure panic. Technical specifications for improvements to every major system the Conclave possessed. These modifications, Thalos's voice shook, increase our stealth efficiency by 40%, reduce our FTL energy consumption by 60%. Our weapons, they make our weapons look like torches compared to plasma cutters. How? The question escaped multiple mouths simultaneously. Because, Zorak stated with resignation, while we've been refining our perfection for millennia, they've been surviving their own extinction for centuries. Paranoia is their evolution, innovation is their oxygen. 3 figures materialized in the center of the sanctum, projected from secure holding facilities across the galaxy. Each bore the psychological scars of Earth's aggressive negotiations. First, Captain Lyra of the Shadow Corps. Her species had perfected dimensional cloaking. Nothing should have detected her scout wing. We approached from the Oort cloud's shadow, phase-shifted, gravitationally silent. We intended to drop sensor drones and withdraw. Instead, they greeted us. Greeted you? Zorak prompted. By name, in our language. They broadcast on our secure channels. Welcome to Sol, Shadow Corps vessels. Please maintain current trajectory for customs inspection. The chamber erupted. Zorak silenced it with a gesture. Continue. We attempted standard evasion protocols. They countered each maneuver before we completed it. Their satellites, primitive orbital machines, were networked into a detection web using something called braided probability algorithms. They predicted our movement patterns by analyzing our thermal wake from 3 days away. What happened to your ships? Taurus demanded. Captured, not destroyed. They used electromagnetic resonance at precise frequencies to induce temporary phase coherence collapse. Our cloaks didn't fail, they were switched off remotely. Second, Engineer Mantis of the Living Concordance. His exoskeleton bore freshly healed scorch marks. Our bioships are not machines, Mantis explained, his mandibles clicking softly. Their neural networks are our neural networks. To capture one alive should be impossible. But, Xylo pressed, the humans sent a transmission directly into our ship minds. Not a virus, a conversation. They asked questions. Our ships, curious by design, answered. Within 1 hour, the humans understood our entire language structure. Within 3, they had mapped our neural architecture. By hour 6, Mantis's voice broke. They were piloting our ships better than we could. They used them to escort the others back to Earth. Third, General Vega of the Iron Star Alliance. His reputation as the galaxy's most ruthless tactician had died in the Sol system. I led a punitive expedition, he admitted, his pride visibly crumpled. 50 warships, heavy assault configuration. My orders were to demonstrate force, not extermination. I never got the chance. Details, Zorak commanded. They let us approach. No resistance, no planetary defenses, just silence. When we achieved high orbit, their station activated. I recognized our own weapon signatures, but enhanced. Plasma bolts that should dissipate at range maintained cohesion. Missiles that should be intercepted simply weren't. They moved like they had their own gravity wells. Casualties? Admiral Nova softly asked. Minimal. That was the insult. They targeted our weapon systems with surgical precision, disabled engines, breached hulls only where necessary to vent atmosphere from non-essential compartments. They took 47 ships intact, captured 1,800 personnel, killed only 23 warriors, those who refused